Hey guys, this marks the end of week 7 on this little experiment, and things have slowed down a little bit in terms of progression, but they have improved in terms of with less levels to try and keep up with. The gold has actually been a bit easier to come by, which has been awesome. In terms of what's happened since last week, well, we have 7-starred Emperor Palpatine. We did that with a Jin-led squad of rebels. I had to slot in Akbar as the 5th because Radis is just not 7 stars yet, and I would have used him as a lead if I was. With 7-star Palpatine, we have 7-star Jin, obviously, to put her in there, and Biston. I would have used Biston in the event, but I didn't get him 7-starred until after we actually had it complete. So, kind of all comes out in the wash, really. In terms of actual account progression, we got to level 74, which means Light Side Battles Stage 8 came on. I blitzed through that this morning so we can finally start farming Jango Fett. It gives me the option of doing Xanadu Blood as well, but there's just not enough hard node energy. If I do my 350 crystal refreshes a day, and then I still have to do another 100 crystal refresh a day just to get to Jango Fett. Prior to this point, I was maxed after the free energy in the morning, just getting to Piet. I think I had maybe 10 left over after getting to Piet. So, in order to get it all done in one day, we're going to have to just spend that extra 100 crystals, which is not terrible. I mean, my Fleet Arena crystals are mostly sustaining me, and every payday I be a little gang to myself and I throw a couple of crystals on my account, which you probably noticed if you've been keeping track of this. We've been getting there. Scoundrels have come up quite a bit, or they're all around level 70 now. That's thanks to needing less gold to keep up with levels. My next aim is to catch the dark side team I've been using with the 3 Inquisitors, Palps and Vader up with that in terms of levels, and to try and bring the mods up on my arena team. At the minute, they're not working the way I want because Jin is ever so slightly faster than Admiral Radis, and what we really want is Radis to go first, Jin to go second to pass it back to Radis, and that way we get the mass assist, AoE, or AoE again, and it's a beautiful thing. So that is what we're working towards in terms of mods. I didn't have the gold to keep unlocking all the stats on the mods for Admiral Radis last night. That's something that I'm aiming to continue with tonight if I can. If not, the next time Quetta Heist comes around, I will devote some money to making sure the mod situation gets better. In terms of fleets, not a huge amount has happened. I've brought the Biston's U-Wing up to the same standard as everything else. We're all sitting around level 70 now. Ravenslaw's taking time. It's just the fact that there's nowhere to get it other than that singular node, which is not great. It's coming together though, and Slave 1 is also nearly unlocked as TIE Bomber. TIE Advanced isn't coming up in the fleet shop nearly as much as I expected it to, nor is Razor Crest, so they are getting them whenever I see them, but you just don't see them terribly often. With Jin 7-starred, I was able to move on to getting Dengar for the Executor, and it allowed me to focus a little bit more on the big characters for the Guild event currencies. So in the past, I kind of pushed a couple of 200s into Jin to just try and get her finished a bit quicker, and it probably cost me maybe 10 or 20 shards of Han Solo, but we are pushing for Han now. That we are, believe, at 100 out of 145 for Han at the minute, and that is priority 1 in there. Wampa also has taken a little bit of time, but that was more to do with a little bit of difficulty finding a guild that were doing territory battles, but we'll get there. I'm not stressing. Yeah, Han Solo is 100 out of 145. We've 7-starred Akbar, so we moved on to doing IG-88 in the arena specifically for his ship. His ship is pretty awesome, and it's another Executor requirement. And when we're finished him, we're going to move on to Leia, and after Leia Tarkin. In here, Cad Bane is getting farmed anytime I go 2 or 3 refreshes and don't see a ship that I'm actively trying to farm, namely Biggs' X-Wing or the TIE Fighter. So Cad Bane has actually got a fair bit of progression there. In 5 more farms, he'll have 7 stars worth of shards, and then once I have the gold to push into that, that will happen. Other than that, not a huge amount has happened. We've stayed consistently in top 100 in Fleet Arena, and we stayed consistently in top 500 in Arena. The Rogue One team kind of feels like it has a favourable matchup against pretty much anything that's not a Hyperdrive account. And the Hyperdrive accounts are just still a little bit too strong in terms of just getting through our survivability. We can't hang in there long enough for Hope to trigger. Or Radis dies because they can strip the buffs off my taunting tanks, which will get better with time. I'm not super worried about it. I even feel like I might end up going back to the Empire Arena team, which would be super interesting. But for now, we're going to stay the course. Hard nodes are just the biggest pain point right now, to be honest. Just being so stretched thin with energy. Like, I'd love to also be farming Mon Mothma. I'd love to be farming Mara Jade right now, but it's just not going to happen. Not until something is 7-starred. And I know I'm looking at 4 Inquisitors a day on those hard nodes, and the temptation is always there. But no, we got them to 5 stars. We are staying the course. We're getting Inquisitors to 7. Let's go. If you're enjoying the content, comment, like, subscribe, usual drill. And thanks so much for listening. Anyone who's been here at the start, thanks for sticking with me so far. This series has been, 1, good fun to make so far, and 2, it's helped me motivate to, 1, stick with this new account, and also stick with the characters that I said I was going to do. I haven't always had the discipline that I'm trying to show right now, so this has been awesome. Thanks for listening.